This is the rotunda of the Capitol of the United States. From my perspective, this is the most beautiful building in our country. It is a staggering place to walk into, a place that is the citadel of our democracy, built by slaves, that tells the whole unfolding story of America's civilization in the advancements of human dignity and human freedom. This is as sacred a space as there is in this country. It is a place that deserves to be honored and deserves to be respected. It is a place where any true patriot who walks into it is awed by the achievements, humbled by the failures of our ancestors. It's a place that inspires commitment to do better, to build, to create, to strengthen, to make our democracy stronger and more just as we hand it down to our children and their children and on down from that. Within sacred spaces, we require elementary decorum. And decorum is appropriate in places like the United States House of Representatives and the floor of the United States Senate. Chuck Schumer, in this climate, has made the decision when the institution is under threat from attacks on its dignity and its decorum, from insurrectionists who wait outside the gates, waiting to storm the Capitol again, to dismantle the United States government in the service of our first dictator, Donald Trump. In this environment, when trust has collapsed between the American people and very nearly every institution you can think to name, it was Chuck Schumer who decided now was the moment to get rid of the Senate's dress code, to allow for this presiding over the United States Senate. Let me be clear about something. This is a disgrace, and it is terrible, terrible politics. Let's understand something, and I'll go through this very slowly so Chuck Schumer, should he see this, can understand it. Who exactly is it within the Republican Party who might be the people who are most vulnerable to leaving the Republican Party and voting maybe for the first time in their lives for a Democrat? What might drive those people over to the Democratic side? What issue is it that could attract them? Is it Joe Biden's economic agenda? Is it Hunter Biden's felony conviction? The issue that would attract those people is that the Democratic Party is seen as the institution defending America's democratic institutions, that understands the dignity, the respect, the sacredness with which millions of us hold these institutions. This has nothing to do with Republican hypocrisy. This has to do with Chuck Schumer's terrible political judgment and not understanding that for tens of millions of people, we look at this, we look at John Fetterman, and we say, Senator, You are dressed like a pig. How dare you? You were elected. What an honor. And particularly for you, who were shown such great beneficence and empathy by so many millions of people in this country. How dare you stand on the floor of the United States Senate dressed like a child, dressed like you have contempt for the American Constitution? Is that how you would dress for a funeral? Is that how you would dress for a meeting with the President of the United States? If it is, please understand this. You're a big part of the problem because you don't understand a very simple concept: respect. That's why you wear a suit on the floor of the United States Senate. It's why you wear a suit if you go to work in the West Wing of the White House. You know why? Because you owe it to the people you work for, the American people. Chuck Schumer's decision is appalling, and it fits in perfectly with a narrative of lawlessness and disorder. And do you know who becomes the remedy to the lawlessness, to the disorder? The guy who never, ever, ever appears in anything other than a suit. And that suit projects authority to millions of people who want an end to what they see as a rigged system and chaos, where there's one set of rules for the people at the top and a different set of rules for everyone else. But over and over and over again, the leaders of the Democratic Party, like Chuck Schumer, run full steam into a wall and knock themselves out. And the price that the American people will pay for the political incompetence is the loss of our democracy in the next election if this party doesn't get its shit together relatively soon. The president has told Democratic activists to relax. Don't bedwet. Well, here's the deal. 7 years have passed since Donald Trump came down the escalator. How's it going? How's the extremist movement doing? Is it shrinking? Is it growing? Is it menacing? Is it growling? Should the political party that stands opposed to it do things to make it harder for the extremist party or easier for them? How about trying making it harder for them for a change? How about being the institution that defends our institutions, that defends their dignity, that defends and respects what they stand for? This isn't a small issue. It's a big one. And anybody who thinks that this doesn't drive people crazy, they're crazy. Senator Fetterman, put on a suit. You're a United States Senator.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. Also, for more content just like this, please consider joining our Warning Premium community. You can find out more in the description below.